You might have triplets and it might ruin your life. It might be the hardest thing ever. You might die in labor. I don't know. And you might decide to not have children and torment yourself forever about not having children. You're never going to know if it's the right decision. There's no such thing. I don't know how there could be.
I don't know if I want kids or not. So I'm talking to parents, the child-free, and everybody in between to help figure it out. Oh my gosh. This is Maybe Baby.
Hi, my name is Gina. I'm a nomad for the second time in my life, traveling around the world, and I am child-free by choice.
Great. And tell me what went into this decision of you being child-free.
So back when I was a child, I remember coming home to my house, and there was always some kind of a kid, either a baby or a 17-year-old, staying with us. And one day I was just like, this is odd. Why is this? So I asked my dad, can you explain to me why these kids are in our house? So my father sat me down and explained to me that he was in social services and worked with foster children. And of course, I didn't know what that was. And he explained to me that there are children in the world who either don't have parents or they have parents who are unfit to take care of them. And he explained that all to me. So he said these children were children that he was unable to place with a new home. So he explained to me that that was a foster family, someone who was willing to take these children in. And I thought to myself, well, wait, why then do so many people have so many children when there's all these children that need to be taken care of? It's just like I was baffled. So my grandmother came over here when she was 16 years old and got married, had 16 children. So you can imagine they didn't have any money in the beginning. And they were farmers. So it was really tough on my mom. The stories were pretty intense. And she used to say to me before I got married, don't get married. This is before I even met my husband. Don't get married. Don't have children. Go see the world. Enjoy your life, based on her past. So that was ran in my head a lot. She gave me that story a lot, that advice a lot. The laundry list of beautiful, amazing experiences I've had because I did not have kids, which entail giving back to those kids in need, it's incredible.
When people see someone living a child-free life, I think they make a lot of assumptions about how either like they can't have kids, they don't like kids, they're not motherly, they're selfish, like. What would you say to all of that?
If someone were to say, don't you feel selfish, I would just laugh inside because of all that I've given back. So no, that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, you're selfish because you're putting all your time into one child. We have 10 who need you. So I could spin it around that way. But no, it doesn't bother me, but I'm also older. I think as you get older, you become more confident and certain things don't bother you as especially what other people say to you doesn't bother you as much because you're in your own, you've arrived, you're happy, you're content. To anyone who is in that situation and people are pressuring them, I would encourage them to take time alone to think and process. So that could mean meditating if you enjoy meditating. It could mean journaling if you enjoy journaling, just to get your thoughts instead of having their ideas come into your head, to get what do you want and why do you want that and why don't you want that, and write it in detail and really own who you are and be proud of who you are. And that we're not here to live for someone else. We're here to live for ourselves. The most common thing I get is, don't you worry about when you get older? You're not going to have these children to take care of you. And when people used to first say that to me, I was like, oh, because I was younger. Now that I'm older, I was like, oh yeah, I don't know. What about it? And now I'm like, what do you mean? I have 8 nieces and nephews. I have nieces who are like my daughters. And now that they're older, they're actually like my peers. They're like my best friends now. And they'll take care of me. I already know that. I mean, they're in my will, so that's the main thing I hear. Like with my decision, I feel like it's how it was supposed to be. Yeah. And then little things happen to me, like I'll have a good friend who just had a baby and she's not doing so well because of postpartum, and she thought that it was going to be a certain way, and And then I think back on an ex-coworker, and I remember she was so excited to get married and have a child. And then she came in to work a month after she had the baby. She's holding the baby and she just started bawling in front of us. And we're like, what's going on? She goes, what? And she looked at some of the ladies who had children. She goes, why didn't you tell me it was going to be hard? You guys all made me think it was going to be amazing and easy and simple, but it's so hard. So those kind of stories confirm that I didn't, it's not all peaches and cream. And then I made another choice and I'm happy with it. If I were to tell you that your child was not going to turn out well and it was going to be really difficult, and I could tell you, you already know the stories. Your friends and family have children that didn't turn out so well. If I told you that, would you still want to have that child and parent that child and take care of that child and bail them out of jail and try to get them to go to rehab for the 12th time? Would you still want to have that child? Because if you say no, then I think you're being selfish. Because then you're just having the kid for you. Are you having the kid for you or having the kid for the kid? Because that kid needs your support. That kid needs someone to love them through it all. And the kid might not make it. And then where are you? Are you okay with that? Because if you're okay with that, great. Then you're having a kid for the right reason. You're going to give love unconditionally and you're going to accept whatever happens. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people get rose-colored glasses and they think that it's all going to be great and perfect and easy and fun and amazing, and I'm going to be glowing when I'm pregnant, and it's going to be a little baby so cute and walk to the park. No, it doesn't work out that way. And I unfortunately, I don't know if it's unfortunately, I feel that parents sugarcoat it because what they're going through is not easy and they want others to experience it. Actually, I will say my brother did tell me once. I asked him, I said, why do you keep pressuring me to have kids? I'm not even in a partnership right now. Why are you pressuring me to have kids? He goes, because I want you to see what it's like. It's not easy. He had 6 children. They didn't have a lot of money and it was really difficult. I'm like, wow. And that kind of almost sealed the coffin for me. I'm like, wow, Gina, realize that how hard it is for him. And that could be you, easy. I would go in with no expectations and I would actually plan for the worst. So I was prepared for that so I could be there for them. I would prepare for the worst. And then, of course, when that doesn't happen, I'm like, cool, I'm good. This is good. But no expectation of a best friend or a...
I'm a incredibly indecisive person, like in all aspects of my life. Like going out to eat with me is like super annoying because I can't decide on what I want to eat. And so it's like, I'm not kidding you when I say every week I'm leaning one way or the other.
Yeah.
And I asked myself the other day, I was like, okay, what if I just said, I'm not going to have kids? Like right now, I'm not going to have kids. And how would that make me feel? And it just felt like a huge weight lifted off of me because I've been really wanting to have kids.
Interesting.
Because I worry a lot about regret. And if I keep this going, I think either path that I choose, I'm going to keep going back and forth, which is not what I want to do.
And here's the thing with regret, in my opinion, is regret is self-inflicted. Regret is not, it's not the fact that you didn't have a kid. Regret is not the fact that you had a kid. That doesn't have anything. Regret is what you told yourself. I regret not having a kid. I regret having. So if you decide not to have children, then you can say, I honor my decision. It's all in your words and your intention, and you get to write that script. So you can have regret or you cannot have regret, but the baby isn't going to give you that or not give you that. You are going to give yourself that.
I think I could start working on that with little things. Like I choose a burger and like I will honor that decision. I'm not going to be eating the burger and be like, well, I wish I got pasta.
Yeah.
Like that is the decision I made. Yeah.
100%. Start small. I'm the same way. I was the same way. I asked my husband, I go, you choose where we go. I go, you choose where we go to dinner tonight. And he goes, okay, we'll go here. I'm like, I don't want to go there. He's like, oh my gosh, forget it. You choose. And then I would choose. That's so bad. So then I was like, I don't want to be like this. So I'd say, okay, you get to choose and I'm going wherever you want. And I didn't, he knew I didn't want to go to that restaurant. I didn't like any, and I went anyway and I ate the food. I made myself go through that because I don't want to be the one that's always in control or the one that's wants to make all the decisions or, yeah. Are you in a partnership?
Yeah, I'm married.
Okay. Does he want to have kids?
So that's a whole other element. He doesn't want to have kids. And I grew up, like, I never imagined myself having kids. And then as soon as I turned 30, I was like, oh, this is like kind of what you're supposed to do. And started to be a little bit more open to the idea. So he will, I mean, he's like, I'll, if you feel strongly that you want to have kids, like, I'm all in.
Okay.
So it's kind of up to me.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's a good place to be. Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like a lot of your ideas are external. A lot of your turmoil is external, I think. What other people are saying, what other people are thinking. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
I do know in the beginning, like I was saying, people, would, say things like, well, aren't you going to be lonely later in life? They would try to shame you or make, scare you. And it was hard in the beginning because it made me think. I would think about it. And now I'm just like, thank God I didn't, that wasn't the reason I had children, because someone said I'm going to be lonely later in life. Oh my gosh, the world is here for us. You'll never be lonely. And not to mention our family is not our blood, it's who we choose. So we get to choose our family, get to choose our children if we want, we can adopt someone else's kids and be the aunt of that kid and have them forever. And you can be closer to that kid than the mom is to that kid if you want. So you can have children in your life.
I think it's kind of the documentary filmmaker in me, which is why this project is actually like hindering me making this decision. But like I could be in a room with anyone and they could be talking about anything and I would agree with their perspective. Like no matter how extreme, if it's a conspiracy theorist, I'll be like, I can't see why that's not true.
Okay.
And so I think you nailed it, that all of my insecurities or worries or whatever are all based on things that I've heard other people say.
Yeah. I have a homework assignment for you.
Okay. Yes, I'm ready.
You have to do it too.
Okay, I'm going to do it. I promise.
Okay. You're going to write in your journal or on a piece of paper a story. And the story is all these different people in your life. You can name them. They can be real people. They can be fake people. Are encouraging you not to have children for these various reasons. And you're going to write down the reasons. You're going to write a whole page on why all these people, mom, dad, everyone, especially the people who want you to have children, why those people don't want you. You're going to write a story, don't want you to have children, and why. Why it's important that you do not have children. And the details of it. And that's it. That's your homework assignment.
Okay, I can already imagine, I can already imagine all the things that I want to write.
Yeah. And then, okay, so wait, then there's a follow-up. You are going to write 2 more pages. One where you're making an announcement to the world why you're having a child. All the reasons. Get emotional and get detailed. And then the second one is why you are not having a child. And all the deals.
Okay.
And when you're writing those second ones, you want to stray from every time you're like, oh, but they're probably going to think this. I don't know. It's not about them. This is just about you. And your audience is, when you close your eyes and you imagine the audience, all your friends and family, it's just kind of like this blank white sheet. And there's just nothing there. They can't talk to you. There's nothing there. But it's getting emitted out into the world, but there's nothing going to come back at you. Whatever they think right or wrong. This is just about you making your statement because you made the decision.
Yes, because I feel like I haven't done a lot of internal reflection. It's always me having a conversation with the person in front of me. And I was actually like rolling my eyes at myself earlier because I realized I had a interview today with someone that earlier that is also child free, and to them I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have kids. Yesterday I had an interview with the parent, and I was like, I think we're probably gonna have kids. Like, I'm crazy.
You're just at that. You're at the stage. You're at that stage. So you might make the decision now, like in the next month, yes or no. And you might make that decision in 5 years, yes or no. And guess what? Either one, whatever you decide, we don't know if it's right or wrong. While you're trying to make your decision, putting more time and energy into your passions might free up more clear thinking about the children, about whether or not you want to have children, instead of hyper focusing on that, like forcing yourself to make a decision. I don't think you need to make a decision right now. And maybe once you reel back a little bit, the decision will come out more naturally. I did spend a lot of time doing a lot of stuff, like teaching myself how to trade options in the stock market. That was a huge thing. I still do that to this day. I don't like day trade, but I invest in the stock market, and it's a passion of mine, like technology. I love it. Investing, I love it. I took a ceramics class once, and then I turned it into a full-blown profession. I did it for 6 years. I traveled to art shows. They set up, my ex-husband set up the garage for me, and we had a full-blown studio in there and made this gorgeous ceramic work, and then traveled all over and sold it. It was so fun. And I've done a lot of things like that in my life, so I've had a lot of passions.
Have you ever felt anger or frustration towards the way society views women without children?
No, I don't think anger serves us. And being angry at anything is just creating a negative vibration that is giving to the world, and I don't want to give the world negative vibrations. I'm pretty Buddhist, so a lot of things don't anger me. The experiences that we can get through being with other people's children, or children in general, are so rich. We can learn so much from them. And for me, I'm just honored that I've gotten to spend so much time with all these different children in my life, and how much they've changed my life, and how much fun it was to play with them. Being a big sister to a child is such an amazing concept. So what happens is kids go into school, and say, for instance, a kid is struggling and they're unable to get good grades. And the teacher digs a little deeper and finds out that little Susie has a bad home life. So then she'll call us up at the mentor program and say, I'd like to recommend that Susie become part of your program. She needs some assistance. And we start off actually helping them with their schoolwork. And then if the kid, attaches to you, then you get to meet the parents, and you get to have approval from the parents to take the kid to your house, or to wherever, to the park. And you get to do different things. And it's a pretty amazing thing. They don't allow you to do the program if you're traveling, or if you're going to be gone for a month at a time, because these kids have already been abandoned from parents and family, and you have to dedicate a year to be there all the time, like once a week. And it's just amazing. You get to see them starting to do better at school. You get to talk to the teachers and see how they're doing, and you get to make a huge impact on their life. I have a niece who at Y Camp, she'd always say, when are you going to have kids, Aunt Gina? I'm like, why do you keep asking me that? Her dad would ask me that all the time. So I figured that's why she's asking me. He would bug me. He wanted me to have kids. So did my father. My father really wanted me to have kids. And I told my niece, I said, I kept thinking, I got to say something to her to explain this to her. I go, Jennifer, stop for a second. She kept saying it. And I said, if I had my own children, I wouldn't be here right now with you. I would be at home with my children, raising my children. She goes, oh, okay. She goes, okay, you don't need to have kids. This is so much more fun. If I had my own kids, I'd give them 100%. Sorry, I would give them 100%, not so much spoil them, but I would be there. I wouldn't be an absent parent, which means they would not go to daycare. I wouldn't do that. I would raise them. And I chose not to have children, and I'm so thankful for the opportunity to share And of course, glean. I got so much from being with all these children and playing with them. And to this day, you bring a kid in here and the adults are over there having wine, I'm going to play with the kid on the floor because it's so much more fun for me. I love them. And yeah, I love it. Yeah.
What is a Saturday in your life that would make a parent a little jealous?
Every month is different because I'm living somewhere else and in someone else's house and with someone else's dog, or in Mexico, or whatever I'm doing. Right now I'm in Snoqualmie and I'm pet sitting. So an average day for me every day is I wake up and I'm working on really good habits. And so I will either journal right away, or I'm going out in the backyard with the dog and doing yoga while throwing the ball for the dog, and just doing yoga with the morning waking up. Then I'll make breakfast, and if I'm healthy, I'll go play pickleball, or I'll go for a hike. I cook all my meals at home, so I don't know if that makes anyone jealous. The jealousy, what would make someone else jealous in my life is that I get to do whatever I want, whenever I want.
What inspired you to be nomadic? Like, what in you pushes you to go and do that?
I've always been a minimalist. And I had two friends who were both nomads. One of them I met, and he had a tiny little suitcase, and he'd been traveling for 2 years. And I don't understand how you do that. And then I asked him why. Why are you doing this? And his answer was to have more interpersonal relationships with people, to have more time to like sit and talk to someone. And then I watched him. We were at a dance event, and I watched him, and everyone he talked to, he just connected with, and he had time for them. And I was the opposite. It was like running here and running there and busy. I'm too busy to talk to you. And I'm like, well, I kind of want a piece of that. Like, I want to do that. I want to slow down. I want to engage with that old man and just talk to him for 20 minutes. And then both my parents and my two pets, who were my children, actually, all passed within like a 5-year time span. It was like, okay, I have no more responsibilities, and I thought I wanted to do this nomadic thing. And it was kind of a knee-jerk reaction. I had the time and the money to go do it, and I just sold everything and walked out the door. And as I was walking out the door, this little voice, I call them my angels, said, hold on, stop, before you go any further. This is a new chapter in your life. What is your intention with this chapter? I'm like, well, that's a great question. And instantly, probably another angel was saying this, but it basically said, I just said to myself, I am not going to meet the guy or to go see the world and experience the experiences. I am going to go out there so I could go inward and get to know Gina. So I could take myself out of my comfort zone here, my little house, and go live somewhere else in the world and be uncomfortable and go inward and get to know Gina. And I was really steadfast on that concept and sat through my depression and my loneliness, and I dealt with it, and I kept out there, and I kept going, and it was amazing, absolutely amazing. And I know that it's not for the average person to live like this, but it is for me. Like it's in my bones.